Hi, Joanne Martin boys and girls. Happy Polka Dotty Monday. Mrs. Juzwicki here with another Epossumondas tale for you. And here he is. He's come to join our story. You know, a lot of times when I read fiction animal stories, I like to share some nonfiction facts. Did you know that a possum is a very gentle creature? When they feel threatened, they snarl and hiss, and they even go so far as to play dead so that the predator will leave them alone. Epossumondas plays possum. And in this story, there's a loup-garou that Mama talks about, and that is a Louisiana folklore creature. One summer morning, as butterflies flitted between the zinnias, Epossumondas and his mama were sipping sweet tea and chit-chatting about this and that. "Oh, look, Mama, that butterfly just flew right into the swamp all by itself," said Epossumondas. "Why do you always tell me not to go in the swamp by myself?" "Land's sake, Sugar Pie, the swamp is scary and dangerous," Mama said. "Paths go every which way. You head down one path, then another, and the first thing you know, you're all turned around and lost. And you don't want to get lost in the swamp, because there's something in there that's just waiting for little possums like you." "Whoa, what is it, Mama?" "Why, it's the loup-garou." What's a loup-garou, Mama?" "I'm not sure, honey, but I suppose it looks like the most awful thing you could imagine." "What does a loup-garou sound like, Mama?" "I don't know, sweetie, but some say it has the scariest snarl you ever heard, and others say it has the meanest hiss, and some say it has the loudest snort." What does a loup-garou do, Mama?" "Oh, that's the worst of all. If little possums don't mind their mamas, the loup-garou snatches them right up with his big, ugly claws. So you stay clear of the swamp, Epossumondas, and you'll be just fine. Now I'm going to go inside and fix our lunch." So Epossumondas, he went back to thinking about this and that, the loup-garou, the swamp, the butterflies. And when the prettiest butterfly he ever saw flew by, he started thinking about chasing it. Now, those of you who've met Epossumondas know that he's not a naughty possum, but he is a forgetful possum. And when he saw that butterfly, he plumb forgot about the loup-garou. Without a thought of what Mama had said, Epossumondas ran after that butterfly. You know where it went, right into the swamp. And so did Epossumondas. He went off this way, no butterfly. He went off that way, no butterfly. He ran down path after path, every which way, no butterfly. Epossumondas stopped. Which way do I go?" he wondered. "I'm lost." And he remembered Mama's warning now, but he was too deep into the swamp to find his way back. And then near a clump of cypress trees, he heard, "Rrr, rrr, rrr." "Oh, that's the scariest snarl I ever heard." Epossumondas gasped. "Oh, it must be the loup-garou. What'll I do?" And then he flopped back, legs up, eyes shut, perfectly still, just like a good possum should. "Rrr, rrr, rrr." That critter came closer and closer and even closer. "Rrr! Hey, this possum's dead," it snarled. "I don't eat no dead meat." And it padded off down the path. Epossumondas opened his eyes. "Oh, that's no loup-garou. It's just a ferocious, terrifying old critter eating swamp cat. So I'm not scared one little bit." But before he could run off, he heard "Sss, sss, sss." "Oh, that's the meanest hiss I ever heard." Epossumondas gasped. "It must be the loup-garou." So he flopped back down, legs up, eyes shut, perfectly still, just like a good little possum should. "Sss, sss, sss." That slithering thing came closer and closer and closer. "Sss, this possum's dead," it hissed. "I don't eat no dead meat." And it slithered away. Epossumondas opened his eyes. "No, that's no loup-garou. It's just a terrible, slimy old possum-swallowing swamp snake. So I'm not scared one little bit." But when Epossumondas before he could run off, he heard snort, snort, snort. Ooh, that's the loudest snort I ever heard. Epossumondas gasped. It must be the loup-garou. So he flopped back down, legs up, eyes shut, perfectly still, just like a good possum should. Snort, snort, snort. The creature stomped closer and closer and closer. Snort! This possum's dead. It snorted. I don't eat no dead meat. And it stomped away. Epossumondas opened his eyes. Oh, that's no loup-garou. That's just a nasty, crusty old varmint chomping swamp hog. So I'm not scared one little bit. But before he could run off, an enormous, cold, dark shadow moved over him. A shadow with wings. A shadow with claws. Oh, those big ugly claws will snatch me up just like Mama said. Epossumondas gasped. It must be the loup-garou. So he stayed down, legs up, eyes shut, perfectly still, just like a good possum should. He felt the shadow come closer and closer and closer. And then those huge claws did take hold of Epossumondas and snatched him right up. Was he scared? Maybe, but he was also ticklish, really ticklish. And so he started wiggling and jiggling and giggling. He just couldn't help it. That shadow opened its claws and dropped Epossumondas like a hot potato. Why, this varmint ain't dead, it squawked. I never eat no live meat. And it flapped away. Epossumondas looked up. Well, that's no loup-garou. That's just a creepy, smelly old bone-picking swamp buzzard. So I'm not scared one little bit. As Epossumondas lay there all worn out from playing dead, wondering how he'd ever find his way home, he heard, Honey, where are you? Epossumondas, you answer, Mama. Epossumondas hollered, Mama, Mama, I'm here. And in less than a minute, he saw his Mama running toward him. Oh, Mama, I forgot what you said, and I went in the swamp all by myself. Mama scooped him up. Sugar, you need to listen to me. Oh, I was worried sick that the loup-garou had gotten you. You must have been scared to death. No, Mama, I didn't even see the loup-garou. All I saw was a ferocious, terrifying old critter-eating swamp cat. And then a terrible, slimy old possum-swallowing swamp snake. And then a nasty, crusty old varmint-chomping swamp hog. And then a creepy, smelly old bone-picking swamp buzzard that snatched me right up. So I wasn't scared one little bit. You saw what? Epossumondas, Epossumondas, you don't have the sense you were born with. You gotta run away from those fearsome critters, too. But Mama, I do have the sense I was born with, said Epossumondas. I just played dead, like every good possum should. Well, you sure are my clever little patootie, Mama told him. Now, I think we're both had enough excitement for one day. Let's go find ourselves some of that sweet tea. So Epossumondas and his Mama headed down the path toward home. The end. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow.